So, it has been a bit since I talked about Ferrari for a full-length video, so I am scraping the bottom of the barrel even more than this video, and now we are going to sit down and rank every single Ferrari season since 2007, and I chose 2007 for one reason only. It was the last year of the glory days, and ever since then, it has only gone downhill since. So, before we get to ranking, let me explain how this is gonna go. I will rank based on three factors: the achievements, meaning the results, the car, meaning was it good, and the competency, meaning was the team efficient with strategy and upgrades. Also, from now on, all my ranking videos will not use numbers anymore, since that was a bit confusing for you guys. So, starting this video, I will be making a tier list and ranking on there. So enough yapping, and let's get to crying by ranking every single Ferrari season since 2007. So let us set up our tier list, and we'll be ranking from WOT, worst of all time, bad, mid, great, and then the best with GOAT, greatest of all time. So let us get to the ranking now. Starting with 2007, and in terms of our achievements, pretty damn good. Albeit McLaren were disqualified from the constructors due to, well, you know what happened. But we still won the drivers on merit due to Alonso and Hamilton's race war. Interpret that as you will. And Kimi, being the chill guy he is, won the championship through all of that. So, double championship means great achievements. In terms of the car, I mean, it was so good McLaren copied our entire flow, so that has got to say something. And in terms of our competency, yes, there was Spygate, but that was more McLaren's thing, not ours. And I'm gonna be totally honest here, guys. I was playing with toys and eating my hand in 2007, so I didn't see this season, so I can't really rank strats, but it seemed pretty good, so let's say they were good too. So as for their ranking, pretty damn great, and if only I wasn't a kid, I could have witnessed this glory, so they'll go straight to the top at GOAT tier. Now we have 2008, and in terms of the achievement, I mean, we won the constructors, but we cannot gloss over that drivers championship, since we were so damn close, but also so far. However, the fact that we got that far and still almost won if it wasn't for Timo Glock means something, so I would say they were good. In terms of the car, it seemed great again, obviously, since we fought for the title, so nothing really to complain about. And in terms of our competency, here we go. There were so many mistakes, with the main highlight obviously being Singapore 2008, where they left the fueling pump still on the car, which took Massa out of the race. That mistake, upon plenty of other driver and team mistakes, led to the Drivers' Championship being taken from our hands, and there really is no one else to blame but ourselves. So as for the ranking, achievements were good considering the shithousery from the driver and team. As for the car performance, it seemed pretty good as well, and the team competency, unfortunately, was the first in a long series of unserious seasons. So let's see how worse they can get. So their final ranking is still good, but not the best, so great tier. 2009 time, and we enter a new set of regulations, so Ferrari must cook considering the dominance in the past regs, right? Nope. The achievements are very little, since while yes, Kimi won in Spa in brilliant fashion, the rest of the season prior to that was extremely underwhelming to say the least. And in terms of the car, well, obviously it was bad due to the lack of innovation and the global market crash, since other teams, especially Braun and Toyota, were able to capitalize on the double diffuser effect, which literally made or break your car that season. And even though we were one of the few teams to use KERS that season, it proved to be a useless effort since we still gave up so much performance. And team competency was fine, I guess, since we eventually did bring a double diffuser, but you get the point. So I'm just gonna cut to the chase. Achievements, mid, car, mid, competency, mid, just mid, but also, this season goes in the bad tier, since this just should not have happened at all. Now, we enter 2010, and after that weird spell, achievements were back, and we are now fighting again for championship glory. So did we do it? Man. Still, it was a valiant effort, but man, it could have been that hard to overtake Petrov, right? The car was decent, however, it was behind Red Bull and McLaren for most of that season, and the fact that Fernando went as far as he did is amazing. And in terms of our competency, well, it was decent, but there is that massive blemish from Germany where those beautiful words, which are "Fernando is faster than you," were uttered. And keep in mind, this was during a time where team orders was considered blasphemous by F1, and it landed a 100k fine for them. So in terms of achievements, it was good since we did almost win, but critically, almost win. The car was decent from what I know, but again, I was too busy watching SpongeBob to even know what a car was, and the competency was alright, but of course, there was that moment. So their final ranking, I think, is great since we did almost win. 2011 is next up, and what even happened this year? This year is a literal twilight zone since can anyone even recall anything from this season? Sure, there was Canada and Hamilton and Massa being ops, but like, what happened? Anyways, in terms of achievements for Ferrari, not much since Red Bull just ran away with everything this season. However, we did win a whopping total of 1 race that season since Red Bull and McLaren were just that far ahead. So not great, obviously. So while we weren't 2009 bad, we were still mid, but Fernando did shine a lot in a season full of nothing burgers, so I think they fit nicely here. 2012 time, and my word, was this a good or a bad season? I don't know, cause we did make it right to the end for the title, but man, bad luck sucks. The very fact that Fernando went that far in the championship and almost won in that absolute hog, I mean, he deserves a trophy too, just really unfortunate that things ended how they did. Still, we won many races and Alonso was just such a gem. The car sucked ass, no simple way to put it. I mean, it wasn't that bad, but compared to the others, it sucked hard ass. And efficiency wise was actually not that bad since I can't remember anything that was that bad, so let's just go straight to the ranking. To get right to it, I think GOAT is fitting since we almost won with an absolute hog, and that should be sung in the streets for decades to come. 2013 was weird. It's not like 2011 where we were in no man's land, but we certainly weren't there for the entire thing. This mainly happened due to development for the 2014 regs being prioritized, so for sure next year will be great, but staying on course. We won races, yes. We were second in the standings for drivers and third for the constructors, yes. But I don't know, it just seemed a little lackluster. And same can be said with the car and competency since nothing was bad again, it was just painfully mid and forgettable. So I think mid is fitting for this season. 2014 marked the beginning of the turbo hybrid era, and we sacrificed 2013 so we could win big this season. So how much did we win by? How did this happen? We fumbled so damn hard, it's so embarrassing. And through all of that, Fernando still almost won a race. That car though, dear God. We all know the memes of it being the only car to understeer and oversteer at one turn, but truthfully, it never fails to baffle me just how bad it was, since I am no engineer, but I don't think an F1 car should do that. And the efficiency was no better too, since we had a bit of team principal drama in the sense of nothing was going to plan. So for the overall ranking, just yikers, man. 2015 can be better though, since we learned from our mistakes and we now have the Sebastian Vettel racing for us. And while this season still wasn't anything special, we did win 3 races with Seb, and that was amazing. Plus, in an era defined by Merc dominance, we were there or thereabout, so surely one of these years we can fight again. And the car itself was decent since, while we couldn't fight Merc often, we could occasionally, so things are on the up. And competency wise, we were also good since we actually had a real team principal and he was doing great. So overall, great job considering last year, so I think this ranking is fitting. 2016 was my first year watching F1, and what a time to join as a Ferrari fan since this season was a step down in most ways from 2015. Straight up. Red Bull got ahead of us for the most part, and we actually didn't win a single race this season, but even still, the car wasn't that bad and was certainly no 2014, but the achievements left a lot to be desired. The car itself was the main issue since, while again it wasn't bad, it was just not comparable to Red Bull or Merc since they won all the races that year, mainly Mercedes, but you get the point. And competency wise, not much else to say since this season is just kind of forgettable as a Ferrari fan. besides that moment in the cooldown room where the torpedo was born. So overall, forgettable. 2017 was another new era of cars since they are now fatter and longer and provided more grip. So, did we get this one right? Oh yeah. The achievements were fantastic since we won many races and fought for the championship until Merc picked up their slack and won through no fault of our own since we made zero mistakes and there was nothing notable, nothing at all. Real talk, this was such a low point and I remember literally being mad for the rest of the week after this. Anyways, the car itself was good since it challenged Merc and was ahead at times, but I guess Lewis Hamilton is inevitable. Team efficiency, besides what happened in Singapore, was decent, but we did start to enter into the modern day Ferrari strategist jokes, so prepare yourself for the coming years. So overall, I would say this was a great year since we were back in the hunt for titles and I know deep in my heart, next year will be our year. 2018 came and we were in the hunt again, but we're beaten fair and square by Merc with no giant time-changing event that would doom the entire season. Jokes aside, all I gotta say is, man, we were so close to greatness and we could have had it, but just, man, it still hurts. The car was great again and was ahead of Merc sometimes, and this allowed us to be in the hunt, but that event happened and yeah, it just sucks. Efficiency wise, we were good since we did bring meaningful upgrades and strats weren't that bad for the most part, but still, man. So overall, while we were in the hunt again, we just made so many more mistakes compared to 2017, and for that reason, I put them here, and I know deep in my heart, next year will be our year. 2019 came and went. The start of 2019 was alright, but it ramped up towards the middle and end through the victories and podiums we got thanks to our brilliant engine I'ma stop. The achievements were good, but a step down from the past 2 years regardless, since we weren't in the hunt at all this season since Merc really locked in for 2019. And car-wise, we were decent, but let us not beat around the bush. We cheated, thanks to Mr. Binotto being the genius he is, but I'm sure there won't be consequences for this. Competency wise, oh man, all I'm gonna put is this meme since we fully enter the dark ages now. So overall, 2019 was just kind of forgettable if you forget the cheating, but at least Charles was good, and I know deep in my heart, next year will be our year. 2020 was not our year. I already made a video about what happened in 2020, so check that out if you haven't, but quite literally everything that could have went wrong went full apocalypse mode. So having said that, straight to the Shadow Realm you go, and I know deep in my heart, next year will be our year. 2021 was a massive step up since we now went from jokes that were fighting Alfa Romeo to shells of past glory fighting midfield McLaren, who were also shells. 2021 wasn't that bad though since Carlos nabbed up podiums and Charles almost won in Silverstone, but he failed due to issues we'll discuss soon. So achievements were nice considering we were midfield during this time, and the car itself was a massive step up considering the little changes that were permitted from 2020, but there were little issues with the car, however they were little. And competency wise, well, you know the memes like the one in Turkey, or in Silverstone where Charles failed to win because his engine kept going on 5-minute breaks every 1 minute, so nothing out of the ordinary I guess. So overall, a step up considering we were midfield and ended P3 in the constructors, so not bad at all, and I know deep in my heart, next year will be our year. 2022 marked a new dawn. We were back in the front fighting for titles, and with a driver with so much ambition like Charles and a smooth operator like Carlos, the only question is, how did we bottle? Well, first up, achievements were nice since we did get wins for a while, but just fell off hard towards the end because we just suck butt so much. And the car itself was the best on the grid for the longest, which makes it even worse since we should have won so many more races, but we just failed thanks to our competency, or rather incompetency, since strategy was bad, upgrades were bad, calls were bad. We failed to win this year through our own faults, and we have no one else to blame but ourselves. So overall, a nice return to form, but come on, we have to do better. So with Binotto gone, I'm sure next year will be our year. 2023 started off so horribly, since achievement-wise there was nothing. However, for the second half, we cooked and got a win in a season defined by Red Bull, and Charles, he kept getting poles like he was getting cheating scandals, so overall, a great second half. And the car itself was quite nice to drive according to the drivers, for the second half at least. However, the first half was a certified tire shredder from what we know, but Vasseur thankfully cooked. And competency wise was great since we did fix the bad car and we didn't have that many bad moments, so not bad at all. So overall again, not bad at all considering how bad we started, but that first half is inexcusable, so next year is our year. 2024, the current year. How are things sitting? Well, we were the closest team to Red Bull and our results show that since we had 2 victories in the first 8 races and you got the feeling maybe Charles could challenge Max. But then Canada happened and everything after that was so bad. However, in Austria we did get 3rd, and in Spa, Leclerc being the man he is, qualified 2nd and got pole and finished 4th and got a podium. Generational. So maybe a comeback is on. The car itself is actually good, however a failed upgrade package means we have fallen behind compared to McLaren and Mercedes, so hopefully Vasseur can cook again. And competency wise, Canada and Silverstone aside, not that bad, so they get some points for that. So overall, this season has already had some highs and some lows, so let's hope the lows don't go lower and the highs go higher. So this year is our year, and if it's not, guess what? Next year is our year. So that is my ranking of all Ferrari seasons since 2007. If you disagree, don't, since this is objective and the truth of Ferrari's performances. I'm also going to be honest, I did not watch F1 before 2016 since I was either a literal child or I just didn't know about F1 since in the USA it's kind of hard to get into it, especially back then before Drive to Survive. So I apologize to any veteran fans who maybe picked up on any inaccuracies with my list. Anyways, if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe since that would greatly help me in making better content, and let me know in the comments what you think of the list, and as always, have an amazing day.
Good weather for the duck.